I believe it was samples that we got off of the Escape album. Oh. We got the actual samples of Steve's drums off the Escape record.
Talk a little bit about drums. Last time I saw you, Neal invited me out to the show in Ottawa and took such great care of me and a buddy of mine. And like, man, it was such a great show. We sat in front of house and like it sounded great. Your drum kit was incredibly intriguing to me because I'm a drummer as well. I'm a guitarist. I'm a musician.
Oh, awesome, bro.
So DW kit up there, mic'd up. But do you have like trigger pads on instead of skins? What's the deal with that?
Yeah, bro. And I'm just gonna be dead honest. I hate it. I'm a purist, and a lot of it has to do with I play too damn loud. I'm a loud player. I've never been able to just sit and do this. You know, I'm in there digging, and that's because I get into the music. I'm feeling it, and I want to. You know, the band needs a Ferrari engine in the back of that thing, and Absolutely. Steve Smith was a Lamborghini, man. So I'm the Ferrari. You know what I mean? It's I just feel like I can't just sit there and just do this. I got to dig in.
Yes, but the music also calls for that.
It does, bro. Especially when you're playing arenas and stadiums, you got to dig in. But it was just too loud. It was draining Arnell's vocal cords. I mean, because he's having to sing over that, and that means, and he turns his mic is not, you know, he doesn't sing with a lot of power. He doesn't blaze it really hard because he's got to sing every night. So he sings the best way he can, but that mic's up a little louder and it bleeds right through. So what we ended up doing was putting V drums. The actual guts. We take the V drums guts out, and put them in the DW drums, and then pad them all up with foam and stuff. So you couldn't hear anything. I mean, it sounded like this.
So
every drum just sounded like that. Yeah, completely dead. The problem with that was, for me, was there was an issue with latency. You'd hit it and you go, it wasn't transmitting right, you know, in real time. You'd have a little latency, and it sounded sloppy to me, and it drove me insane. Because I'm playing like this, it's going.
Yeah. Plus, you guys are and look, let's be like, you're also playing the tracks. You got a click going. There's everything needs to be tight, or else you're gonna hear it.
Yeah, dude. Now, right now, what we decided to do, and Tom, our sound man, is an amazing sound man. Tom Wood is unbelievable. He was a Shawn Mendes forever. And what we're doing is we got the toms, but we're just putting the little trigger things on them
like
now.
D-drum triggers or?
Yep. They're the rolling triggers. They got new triggers that they put out. So we're using those, and I'm still... it's for consistency, and I get Tom's outlook on that. It's like, you know what? They're consistent every night. You know, we don't have to mess with them to get the sounds, you know.
Yeah.
But it's hard for me, man, because I'm purist, and DW makes the greatest drums on the planet, man. I mean, nobody.
They came out with their new electronic drums. Oh my God.
Yeah, and we're talking about doing something like that, but again, they only make certain sizes. Yeah. You got I think a 10, a 12. 13 and a 16, I think, or I'm 14 and 16. Those are the only sizes they have. So, but I've got a big kit, so we can't really do it.
Yeah, and
so
I'm having some kit. I mean, like, it doesn't look good on a stadium stage. Like,
it doesn't look good. I'm not a jazz drummer, so yeah, it's got to look good. But so we're not doing that, but we do have triggers on the drums, and it sounds good, but again, I'm a purist, man. And before I used to play a lot harder. I'm not playing as hard as I used to. And a lot of that is just because I've grown as a player, and getting sober helped a lot, dude. Because I had a lot of pent up aggression playing and doing that stuff. Now I'm more relaxed, and I'm just playing for the song. And I'm not killing it. I still kill it. I'm still louder than most drummers, but I'm not like I used to be, where I would play through the drum instead of pulling the sound out. So I've grown that way, but it's just too loud. And Neal has a hard time. I mean, he has a hard time hearing kick and snare, and that is his thing. So having the trigger, that point, you're hearing that, right. Even if it's not real loud, you're still hearing that, and that's all he needs to hear. Yes, and that's what he needs. So we're doing that for him, and it's working out. It's good, but again, I will never be. It's like playing an acoustic guitar to an electric guitar. It's like, really, man? You want to play acoustic? Yeah, it's all plugged in. It's got amps, but it ain't an electric guitar.
No, it's not organic. I mean, yeah. You know what? It's funny you talk about the triggers and stuff, because it's like at that point you can literally get any sound you want out of those drums because you're playing a pre-recorded sound. And I was surprised at that show, because I was like, okay, they're triggered, but how come the toms and the snare, that doesn't sound like cannonball snare drum or explosion toms? Like, I was expecting like big arena toms, but you did have a sort of a organic kind of sounding kit. So it's almost like best both worlds in a way.
Yeah, we had some really good samples. I think there were Slate samples, and it was either that or I'm not positive, bro, because it was 2014, so and my memory's kind of shot. But I believe it was samples that we got off of the Escape album. Oh. We got the actual samples of Steve's drums off the Escape record and put them on, the discs and put it in. So we got Smith's drums.
Wow.
Going through my kit, it just didn't feel very good. I didn't, and you gotta have a little bit of pullback on the head, and it was just it was like hitting cardboard. Just didn't have a lot of give. So
no, it sounds like you're hitting a wet phone book.
Exactly, bro. Exactly. Or putting a piece of like a rag over the drums. Like,
yeah.
Oh yeah, that's really inspiring.
No life to it, and especially like, look, you play with like massive bands like Def Leppard and Rick Allen's been like the Hysteria snare. I mean, like, come on, that's cannonball snare drum. You don't get bigger.
His sound is unbelievable. I remember touring with him in 2006, and I couldn't play his drum kit. I sat down. I was like, Rick, I cannot do this. I don't know how, in God's name, you have pulled this off, but kudos to you, man. Because it's not easy. And, I'm used to that. And it's like, and he's in time, and it's perfect. I was all out of time. I was like,
yeah.
And he's perfect.
The back and forth, it's like...
Cannot do it, bro. Cannot do it. It would have taken me weeks to figure that out. So I just, man, you do your thing, I'll do mine. It was great, but yeah. Very cool. Very cool.
Do you guys see maybe like a Def Leppard Journey collab, like maybe like getting together on stage and jamming at some point in the summertime of this tour? Or?
I would love it, dude, because I think Phil is an amazing guitarist, and Viv,
good friend of the
Viv's
show,
unbelievable.
And
then have Joe come out and sing. It would be great. I mean, I would love that. I would love it, but and roll Rick's kid out. I mean, yeah, it would be awesome. Are you kidding? It'd make us look great. And, I think it'd be a lot of fun, but I don't know. We'll have to see. I mean, stadiums are difficult. They're different. They're a different animal than an arena, definitely. And I think that's one of the reasons we're doing the triggers too, is when you get out in venues like that, it's going to be hard to control the sound, and you want it to be pristine for the audience, So I think having triggers for drums is going to be a lot less of a hassle for our sound man, so he can work on other stuff, vocals, guitars, all the keys, all that stuff. So as long as you don't have the drums.
I was just going to say, it's like with the price of concert tickets these days, I mean, I think the expectation is that it's got to be the perfect show, It
does. It does. And I don't know if Motley Crue was doing that whole, playing to tracks. I don't know, bro. I've seen the videos, and I don't know. I can't see Tommy doing that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Tommy's a monster drummer. He definitely doesn't need that. And I can't see them doing it. I don't know though, bro. But for those kind of stadiums, you got to sound amazing. And I think that's half the battle, is getting some of the stuff that can be a nuisance, like drums. And, the drums are, they're bleeding through everything, and that's just going to make everything sound muddy. And so you got to kind of compensate. It's a give and take. So I don't mind putting triggers up. Yeah, if it's making the guitars and keys and vocals sound great, trigger them up, dude. Fine with me.
You got the portion of the population. You're going to have Eddie Trunk saying, it's not real live rock and roll, all tracks, bullshit. But then you also got Karen, who's going to be moaning, it didn't sound like the album when I went, So.
And they want to, bro. And the beauty of Journey is everybody in the band actually sings. So, there are some stuff. We got some backing stuff a little bit just to thicken it up. But every one of us is singing, man. And that is a big part of Journey sound, and we got to have that sound. Yeah. So, if the vocals aren't translating, then we're gonna have an issue. And so if the drums are making the vocals not translate, give me triggers. I want that. I want the fans to hear, only the young, lush as it is.
Mm-hmm. Look, the show is the boss, right? If the show calls for it, that's what wins.
You give the fans what they want, bro. They're paying a lot of money. The least we can do is make it sound as great as we can.
Yeah. Hey, so have Neal and Jonathan sorted out their beef and shit? Because it's like I see them in pictures hugging and all brotherly. Like, is everything all good now? Like, everything's kosher?
Perfect now, bro. It was cool. I think it was the wives. I think it was Mikkel and Paula, John's wife, just said, "You guys, enough.
Yeah.
Sit down, communicate. Enough of this back and forth stuff through attorneys and all that. Sit down and talk." And they did. And the great thing is we brought Paula on to help with she's a business genius. She's just financial savvy, man, smart. So we got her involved in it, and we got Mikkel, who's got the gift of gab, and can, she can sell, ketchup to, what is it? Ketchup to Eskimos, ketchup popsicles to Eskimos. I mean, she's just great at it. So we've got both of those girls in there, and Neal and John can just do what they do best, and that is play. And they've mended the fences. We're on one jet instead of two now. Everybody's getting along great, and you can see it in the performances, man. It's not a fake smile like, yeah, I hate that guy. It's real. And I'm telling you, the side of God, it's real, and we're all getting along great, and it's a brotherhood again. It's like I remembered it before I got fired. It was just tight, and everybody was tight, and then, things get in the way, man. But we're brothers. Brothers are gonna fight, man. Yeah. That's the beauty of a brotherhood. You're gonna have differences, but you can come together. And thank God, this year they came together. I said, enough of this. Let's go like we used to be, all for one and one for all. Let's go out and do what we got to do. And it's been wonderful. It really has been great.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. And you know what? It must feel good going to work and like not dreading going to work now. It's like, oh God, I can't walk by that guy's dressing room. I don't have that pass. Like,
and it was, dude. It was like that. It was like everybody was separate. And me being, I've never been able to separate the business from the family, and that's probably my biggest weakness. Is when I'm creating with somebody, it's a spiritual connection. It really is. And when you have that, it's a beautiful thing. And when it goes away, the music suffers. It really does. Yeah. You can tell. And it was hard for me to see guys that I've been with since 1989 not talking. Mm-hmm. And it used to drive me insane. And I remember one time I said to both of them, I said, guys, you don't know what it's like to lose it all. I lost it all. Yeah. God, it's horrible. And you don't want to lose this.
And, dealt with your resentments and dealt with all the stuff that comes along with that. It's like life's way too short to have all this pent up bullshit with somebody. And it's like,
exactly.
What's the point of it?
And those guys have been together for 45 years, 40 years, something like that. That's a long time to have some petty arguments, but they worked it out, man. And it's great. And we're firing on all cylinders again, bro. I mean, the band is tight as ever, and it's fun. It's fun to be on the road again instead of, oh God, I hope I don't say anything that's going to hurt somebody or it's going to piss somebody off, or it was really rough. Yeah. But it's great now. It's great. But that happens in bands, and sadly, 90% of the time it doesn't work out and they break up. Thank God it didn't with us. Thank God.
And you're still going, and you're going to have one of the biggest tours of 2024. I mean, come on, it's great that it worked out.
Yeah, cannot complain, dude. And I think they realize that. It's like, this is bigger than all of this. Yeah. The music is bigger. The band is bigger than our petty differences. Let's fix the stuff. Let's talk it out. And they did. They talked it out. Things are amazing now.
Yeah. I want to talk a little bit about about solos in the show, because I just saw Kiss a couple of times on the end of the road, and every time, listen, I'm a huge Eric Singer fan, but like the drum solo a little too long, like Tommy shooting the rockets, and it's great, but like you think about it, it's like, in that time frame, they could have played "Come On and Love Me" and "Parasite" and "Room Service." It's like,
but for me, dude, I'm an Eric Singer fan, so I loved it.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. But it's like, some fans will complain, they could have played 2 or 3 extra songs, but Neal's on stage, wanking off with the guitar solo again, or Dean's drumming. It's like, where do you find a way to find maybe like meet in the middle in a sense? Like, do you think that the solos are still important in this day?
I think for Neal it is, man, because that's his expression. Journey has always been, he's the guitarist in Journey. And he spreads his wings as much as he can, but on his solo, man, it's a very colorful solo. And that's what I love about it. It's not just, he's doing like soft stuff and picking, and then old blues standard stuff. He's so prolific, and he's got such a wide range style. I mean, he can play anything. Yeah. So I love that he gets to spread his wings and open up and show different colors of him, instead of just, I'm the guitarist in Journey, I'm playing melodic solos for the song. Right. For a drum solo, no, I hate him. For me, Smith's drum solos are works of art. That's a different thing. Smith is a master. Yeah, and it's fun as a drummer to watch. You go, damn, I can't do that, But for me, man, I'm not giving any new info. I'm not, showing anything that anybody else has not done. So for me, it's a waste of time. I mean, do a guitar solo, do a keyboard solo, because John shows his colors as well. Yep. But you know what? Put a song in instead. because I'm just gonna, people are gonna go get a T-shirt, which is good too. Yeah. But get a T-shirt. Mine would just be wasting time.
Well, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I was like, it'd be different if it was Ace with the smoking guitar, but Tommy shooting rockets out of his head. So I'm like, they could have played two-timer. Like,
oh, dude, the greatest old stuff. I know, bro. Kissing Time. Oh my God.
Yes, exactly.
Greatest stuff ever.
You know?
Oh, dude, I love that song.
That's
Great
what I
show.
mean.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Look, Revolution Saints, new records available now wherever you get your music. It's fantastic. Just Joel Hoekstra's just killing on the record. Jeff Pilson, man. Great guys, great musicians. The lineup is fantastic. Maybe we'll get some shows at some point with a mic stand.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely, bro. Definitely. Yeah.
An all-new episode of The Jeremy White Show.
Available wherever you stream.